We just want to start by introducing our speaker today. We know we're here for a week, obviously a celebration of inclusion and diversity. Today is Anti-Bullying Day, as we all know from our pink shirts. Today's specific topic is inclusion and diversity. Our guest speaker, Chris Burton. Most of you might know him as being a resident volunteer here at the library. He's done a fabulous job. You might find out in the outside community for a long time representing this cause, and he wants to bring this information to our school as well. So I'll take it over, give it to him, and let him.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Christian Burton. I go by Chris. There's two Chris's in here, so yay. Today's Pink Shirt Day. Not only is it about ending bullying and the things you say and do, but it's also about inclusion. Today I'll be discussing about how important it is to be included. Some of you may think of me as someone who is normal, but that's not the case.
Oh no.
There we go. I am different. I have an intellectual disability, or an intellectual difference, or a diverse ability. I was born with autism. Now, a neurologist also thought I could not hear or see. They were wrong. Even though I am diagnosed with a learning difference, I still have the same dreams and goals as you have. To be happy, to be married, or to have kids. I want to be independent and have meaningful work. And for me, school was very difficult when I was younger. I was bullied by my peers, I got pushed around, and I was called gay and retarded. Now in classes, I was segregated at times. I noticed when in high school, my grade 8 was very segregated just because they thought I wouldn't be able to do the courses. I wanted to be in the same classes as the kids I grew up with, but when you're no longer in the same classes, you are isolated and excluded from social activities. I wasn't asked to parties, dances, or prom. I wasn't included in sports, although I'm athletic. I was not being included at all, which was very hurtful. People did not think I could even participate in normal activities. So this one for breaking barriers is pretty much a fun fact, which is, this is last year when we probably hosted the rugby tournament, where, for me, I don't know who took the photo, but this is us. We ran, for me and another student, we both ran the entire technology around it. All the filming, all the broadcasting, everything. And that's probably one of the jobs that people thought I couldn't be able to do. Managed to be a success. But what is normal? The normal I see for all of us as human beings is that we are all different by race, language, appearance, and abilities. People with intellectual and developmental disability differences are different in their own perspectives and ideas. But that doesn't mean that their perspectives are invalid or that their ideas are inferior. Many very intelligent and capable individuals have disabilities like Stephen Hawking, who has ALS, or had ALS. Helen Keller, who was blind and deaf. Vincent van Gogh, who had a mental illness. Beethoven, who was deaf. And Tom Cruise, who has dyslexia, and Jim Carrey, who has ADHD. Just because you have a disability or a diverse ability does not mean that you cannot be very successful. Speaking of this photo, I actually got to be on breakfast television last year, where I also got to speak with Brandon Sutter from the Canucks. And that same day, I also co-hosted what's called the Sports Celebrity Festival, which is a huge charity event that sponsors with the Classic Kids Fund and Special Olympics BC, where I actually got to co-host. There's a photo of me actually at the podium speaking. Now, many people have even said I would not be able to do normal jobs, whatever that I have shown over the years that I'm very good with technology. Speaking of me doing this. It's a very good skill to have in the code and book environment, right? So this one, when I was in grade 10, my computers teacher, Chris Jansen, is here. He saw potential in me that no one else had ever seen. He mentored me and showed me as much as possible about computers and technology, but most of all, he gave me the confidence to believe that I could be very good at IT. I am now 24, and I'm still being mentored to this day. He's always made me feel as though I was included. So please take an opportunity today to include someone that you know who is isolated or not accepted, by just asking if they would like to hang out at lunch, because that would be awesome. Part of inclusion is not using the words that hurt or ostracize people who are different. Speaking of which, takes us to our first video. Get it close.
My sister has an intellectual disability. I really like to cuddle with Isabel when Isabel's laying by herself while Mom's getting ready to go places or doing stuff. I like to hang out with Isabel and play with her. She's really just perfect. I really, really, really love her.
My brother.
My sister.
My brother.
My sister has Down syndrome, but that doesn't define her.
He's a piano player.
He's a dancer.
She's my best friend.
And he's a great brother. And when you call him a retard, or even use the word retarded, you take all of that away.
Using that word is never funny, no matter how you use it.
Even if you're not talking about a person with a disability, it's never the right word to use about anything, ever.
Every time we hear it, it hurts those of us who love somebody with Down syndrome.
It's just wrong. You got to know her.
That's this video. This one, take a little short break. This one, let's do a little exercise. Now don't worry, we're all here to learn and nobody's being judged, but I have a few questions for you all. This one is, oh shoot. There we go. Questions I have for you are, how many of you find yourselves or friends of yours using the word retard or retarded in conversations? And what do you think about the use of the word today? And does anyone feel comfortable speaking to all this? Oh. Okay. Alright. Let's continue on. Now, to give you guys more of an explanation on the word retarded. The word retarded was originated by doctors describing a baby born with Down syndrome. It was in the dictionary describing someone who is mentally stupid. The medical community no longer uses this word as they realize that it's not accurate and very hurtful. We don't realize it, but this word is very hurtful to anyone who is intellectually different. Many of my friends are hurt by this word. There's an international organization called Special Olympics which offers sport opportunities for people with intellectual diverse abilities that run 365 days a year, that offers a lot of sports, spring and summer. For me, I've actually been a part of Special Olympics for the last 9 years. For me, I've taken part in sports like softball, basketball, golf, and yeah. For me, a bit of me is I also am a gold medalist from when Langley hosted the provincials in 2013. The medal, me pitching. The jersey on the right. The colors used to be black on the inside, but after the vinyl started coming off, I brought it here to get completely the vinyl redone. Now it looks completely better. Sure. So for all of you, they also have a campaign called Spread the Word to End the Word. Now, which is trying to stop the use of the word. I have a very short video that lists all the words you can use instead of using the R word. None of which are hurtful to anyone who is differently able. Alright, so I would like you as students and staff, as leaders, to spread the word to end the word. By basically just not using the word anymore, or trying to tell others not to use it. For me, these are basically my own tweets I've done during a conference I was at, which all speak about inclusion. So if you have any questions for me, don't be afraid to put your hand up, because I'll try my best to even try and answer them. And always remember, be kind to one another, try and find a way to include someone in the things you do. Practice Pink Shirt Day every day, not just once a year. If you're wondering why the presentation was actually was titled to be titled later, well, it's about my story, and it's not finished. So tell me why. Life always moves forward, as always should. And off my own note, everyone is different. Just because we learn, look, or act different, nothing makes us less human. Thank you.